So like one of the broader questions, project began with thinking, because I'm an architecture, design, urbanism reporter, about the way with transformation happening in the city and how a new generation of people were sort of adapting the city to a new use. How would you characterize your experience in that respect, in terms of, because there was also a revaluing happening in terms of the city, a new kind of investment, like, and you called it regentrification or something like that, which is an issue, obviously. Like, you know, what's the social implication of that? But was there some other quality other than just a middle class reclaiming territory or something?
Well, I mean, I think part of living down here was, you know, I got involved with the people that were from down here, that lived here for 40 years, and they certainly weren't middle class. And, you know, the artist is sort of put in a weird position, because even if you become friends with people, you realize that they're not in a position to protect themselves from rising, you know, and neither are artists, really, rising rent, you know, problems, and, you know, the inability to buy something, and always having to rent means you always have to move further out of the city as you get older or you get poorer. And, you know, it would be nice to be able to solve the problem where you could have, like what the city did try to do after it started building up, you know, all these buildings that were burned out. They did build several, they let a lot of the people squat and then buy their buildings. They did build small, you know, mixed low income with middle class income housing around here. There are still the projects over there. You know, I think in a way, like a saner city has mixed class systems and an ability, it is a little more socialism, but an ability that you have, you know, people that are doing services for the wealthy, which is sort of Manhattan, can all like live near each other.
What's your perception of this neighborhood in that respect, in terms of the ethnic diversity and that?
Well, it's gone pretty much. There is still some Spanish neighbors that got here from Puerto Rican from the 60s. But as they get older, they're my age, as they get older, then they've been replaced, and the landlords have not exactly bought them out, but just, you know, re-renovated the apartments. But, you know, it's like, it's a complex thing, because the Lower East Side basically is old buildings built in the turn of the century that aren't very well built, and, you know, it's a spring and a marsh underneath, so eventually I'm sure the city has plans to take most of these buildings down and build much higher, like they were doing on the corner. Because how long can these buildings last is the next question. Maybe they can, you know, I don't know. Some of them were in really bad shape when we moved in, because they'd burned them, and beams need to be replaced, and the foundations are not so steady. So it's, but on the other hand, like what's happened lately is that the people that squatted have moved in, you know, they've rebuilt they have larger buildings, and they've rebuilt them with solar panels, and they've done sort of more innovative kinds of construction, which seems interesting. You know, in some ways I think Bloomberg does that. I think he tries to sort of make the city in a way that people like living here.